We're going to check out the trailer for Spider-Man. This is my first time viewing it, so here's my reactions and review to the trailer.
I can't believe our first hit MIT! MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Is he talking to them, or is he on a phone call, or on social media watching something with Ned and MJ?
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank?
Nice.
He just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering.
It's officially part of the
Suit
MCU. It's finally in a movie.
Go home! And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Oh, damn.
Oh, God.
Powers are going
Excuse me,
haywire.
Dr. Banner. I need your
Oh,
help.
nice.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
Nice, Scorpion.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
Boomerang Man. Pan.
rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Nice. All right, my initial thoughts is I'm a little bit afraid that there's way too much going on. Like you have Frank. Finally, John Bernthal is making his Marvel Cinematic appearance as Punisher. So I think that's good news for Punisher fans that he's going to be kept on as the Punisher. Like in future movies, maybe he'll get his own movie at some point. Maybe I don't know if there's going to be another season, but that's great news. I'm a huge fan of John Bernthal, so I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but huge fan of his. He did an amazing job in the first season as Punisher, and it just makes sense to keep using him. That he should be portraying as Frank Castle and as the Punisher. With this scene, it seems like they're taking a play from the animated series and probably from the comic books. I haven't read the comic books on this yet, but I remember from the animated series, Peter goes through a mutation where he turns into the man spider. There were a couple of episodes on it, and it seems like that might be the case, but I also wonder if maybe Venom is involved, because in Spider-Man 3, the movie, and I'm pretty sure in the animated series, he forgets where he's at. Like he's hanging, but he has the symbiote suit on. So I don't know if this could be potentially man spider mutation, or maybe the symbiote is involved. And I say the symbiote because like this lady in a spaceship, it looks like she's like shifting consciousness, unless there's some sort of obscure villain or a villain that Spider-Man villain that came about later, that they created that can swap bodies. But I feel like that has to be like a Venom type of thing, especially what we've seen in the Tom Hardy Venom movies, like Venom being able to go from host to host to host. So that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm afraid a little bit that we're overwhelmed with villains. And the last time that it happened, it actually worked well. The last Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, it worked well. But then when you look at Spider-Man 3, I still like Spider-Man 3, but it just felt all over the place. When you're introducing too many characters, you kind of lose focus. And then also so many struggles, he's going through the loss of May, his aunt, the loss of his friends with them losing their memory, based on the last movie. Not only his friends, but all his colleagues, his superhero colleagues as well, the Avengers. He has to reintroduce himself to Bruce Banner again. So yeah, it's just that with that, he's just going through multiple issues, and it'd be interesting to see how they weave everything together. So yeah, I don't know. I think there should be a betting happening with whether it's going to be the symbiote, if Venom's going to make an appearance, or if it is really the man-spider mutation. Because the other thing is, he goes to Dr. Banner. In the past, in the animated series, Dr. Connors was his scientific advisor. He would do checks on him, with his mutation, also with the symbiote. He did an analysis on the symbiote, I remember, in the animated series. And something tells me, I don't know, with the symbiote, there are these black marks. Maybe it's just highlighting his skeletal structure and his organs, but it's weird that all of them are being highlighted in black. So it makes me think maybe, Venom might be involved, or the symbiote might make its appearance in the MCU. Yeah, it's just very interesting. And then you have the Foot Clan, or the Hand. I always think about the Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How are some of these villains just there for a day to day? They're not the main focus. It looks like Scorpion is the focus, or is one of the focuses, because they do kind of a close-up on him, which makes me think that he's involved somehow in terms of being the connected to the main villain. Yeah, and then you see someone in straps that could be Scorpion, but they did a really good job of not giving away a lot. The last movie, they did a really great job photoshopping out Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire when he's facing off against these multiple villains, and maybe we're in for another surprise. Yeah, I'm excited. The music, though, it seems very depressing. It's not as exciting. It's I don't know if it's my speakers, but it seems very low. But the tone of this movie is definitely kind of depressing. It's not as upbeat as the first couple ones, and understandably so, right? He lost his aunt. He's still dealing with that. So, and then he lost his friends, and a bunch of people that don't remember him, the Avengers. Yeah, so we know it's going to be depressing. So I think going into the movie, you're just trying to see how things turn out. Is he going to reveal himself, in terms of, hey, this had all happened before, and I made the decision to wipe your memory. Is he going to reveal that to Ned and MJ, or just MJ? They did have an intimate moment. There was a clip of them having an intimate moment where he does reveal himself, or he doesn't reveal himself, but he talks to her as Spider-Man. Yeah, so it'll be interesting, and is Frank going to be in the movie all the way? Meaning, is he going to be there at the final fight? Or is he just there in the beginning, like how the Daredevil was in the last movie, where he just showed up as a lawyer, playing his role, and you're just kind of immersed in the Marvel universe at that point, and seeing these celebrities is just like a everyday thing. It's not like a big deal. We'll see. I mean, it would be kind of cool if they teamed up. It looks like they're not teaming up for now. Like it looks like the Punisher is after Spider-Man, or the Punisher is like going after someone in a very aggressive manner, and then Spider-Man's trying to stop it, because that's usually the tension that they've had in even I think in the animated series. Was he in the animated series? I am aware of that, or maybe in the comics, that they have this tension of doing things differently, as the Punisher does. The Punisher's always had tension with Daredevil and whoever else, and how things are done. He does things in a more straightforward and direct manner and more permanent manner. So overall, I'm very excited to see what comes of it. It's going to be very difficult to top the last movie, because there was just Easter eggs after Easter eggs. Like, they did not reveal. I mean, they hit it really well, in the trailer of the last movie. And when you saw the movie, you were just surprised and yelling in the theater, like screaming, being from excitement. And maybe they're going to do the same thing here. I feel like that, like they're just going to keep up with that, but I'm excited to see what comes of it. A lot of villains that I'm, Scorpion is one that I'm excited for. Seeing Frank Castle and Bruce Banner in there, I'm excited for. And then just seeing maybe, how they're going to take this. If this is really the Man-Spider mutation, like, is this going to be the bridge to the X-Men and mutations? Because they kind of talk about it a little bit here and there in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like maybe once or twice. I feel like could be more, but yeah, maybe this is the way to transition into the next phase of introducing the X-Men and mutants. Because we're not really we're not there yet. After all these movies, after all these Avenger movies and stuff like that, mutants haven't been really mentioned. So it could go either way, but I think there should be a bet placed whether, this is really the symbiote, or if this is the Man-Spider, because it could be, it's a good case for the symbiote to show up, we'll see though. But like and subscribe if you like this video. I'll be probably doing some more reviews. There's a bunch of trailers that came out for not only movies, but video games and TV shows that I still have to review and haven't watched in full yet. But let me know in the comments what you think. Is this going to be, a case of Man-Spider, the mutation, or is this going to be, potentially the symbiote being introduced, and potentially like we see the black Spider-Man suit? That'd be really cool. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me also know that if you think it's going to be overwhelming. I definitely want to know the general census. Like, this is going to be overwhelming with too many characters, and whether you're afraid that it could go downhill. It could be too sporadic, where it doesn't, the story doesn't weave well, or it could be like the last movie where they did it really well, where they introduced multiple characters, like heroes and villains. But let me know in the comments. Thanks.